What if I told you that moving from 85 kilograms towards 65 kilograms does not require a gym membership, no expensive machines, no complicated workout programs, and no spending 2 hours every day on a treadmill? For many people, especially after the age of 45, the biggest challenge is not finding the perfect exercise. It is finding a routine that is simple enough to repeat. Imagine a 8-year-old woman weighing around 85 kilograms. She notices that climbing stairs feels harder than it used to. Getting out of a chair takes a little more effort. Even walking for a longer period can leave her feeling tired. So she decides to change. She starts an intense workout program. She cuts her food dramatically. For the first few days, everything seems exciting. But then her muscles become extremely sore. She feels exhausted. The diet becomes difficult, and eventually she stops. Maybe you've experienced something similar. And if you have, I want you to understand something important. You have not failed because you couldn't survive an extreme workout. The problem may have been the strategy, because fat loss does not require you to destroy yourself every day. It requires a plan you can actually live with. Now, let's be realistic. Going from 85 kilograms to 65 kilograms means losing 20 kilograms. That is a significant amount of weight, and it should not be treated like a race. Your timeline will depend on your body, your current activity level, your food intake, your health, your age, and many other factors. So think of 85 to 65 as a direction, not a deadline. Maybe your first milestone is 82, then 80, then 77, and eventually, you may reach a weight that is healthy and appropriate for your body. The important thing is that you keep moving forward. From a basic physiological perspective, fat loss generally requires a sustained calorie deficit. In simple terms, your body needs to use more energy than it receives from food over time. Exercise can help increase energy expenditure, but exercise has another important role. Strength exercises can help you maintain muscle and physical function while you're losing weight, and that becomes especially important as we get older. This is why today's video is not about finding one magical exercise that melts fat. There is no magic exercise. Instead, I'm going to show you a simple home-based approach built around low-impact movement, strength training, daily activity, and consistency. You'll learn several beginner-friendly exercises you can do at home, including movements that don't require expensive equipment. You'll also learn how to combine strength and cardio without turning every workout into a punishment. And most importantly, we'll talk about the small mistakes that can quietly destroy your progress even when you're exercising regularly. So if you're starting at 85 kilograms, don't worry about becoming 65 kilograms tomorrow. Focus on becoming a little stronger, a little more active, and a little more consistent. Because the goal isn't to find the hardest workout you can survive. The goal is to find the simplest workout you can keep doing. Before we talk about the exercises, we need to talk about something that may be holding your progress back. Because sometimes the problem isn't that you're not working hard enough. The problem is that you're working hard in the wrong way. Let's start with one of the most common mistakes. Problem 1. Depending on exercise alone. Have you ever finished a workout and thought, I exercised today, so now I can eat whatever I want? You're not alone. A lot of people think this way. But here's the reality. Exercise is extremely valuable for your health, fitness, strength, and mobility. But a workout does not give you unlimited permission to eat more calories. Imagine you spend 30 minutes exercising. Then, later, you have a large fast food meal, a sugary drink, and a snack because you feel you've earned it. That meal can contain far more calories than you realize. And suddenly, the calorie deficit you were trying to create becomes much smaller or disappears completely. This doesn't mean you should stop exercising. Quite the opposite. Exercise is an important part of the plan. But if your goal is fat loss, what you eat still matters. You don't need to starve yourself. You simply need to become more aware of your overall food intake and build meals that keep you satisfied. Now let's move to another mistake that can be even more frustrating. Problem 2. Starting too hard. When people decide they're finally going to lose weight, they often want results immediately. So they start doing jumping workouts, burpees, long HIIT sessions, hundreds of squats, and sometimes they try to exercise intensely every single day. It feels productive. You sweat, your heart rate goes up, and you feel like you're finally doing something serious. But if you've been inactive for a long time, especially as you get older, suddenly throwing your body into intense exercise can leave you extremely sore and exhausted. And then what happens? Monday, you exercise. Tuesday, you're sore. Wednesday, you don't feel like moving. Thursday, you skip the workout. And by the following week, the entire plan has disappeared. This is the gentle warning I want you to remember. The biggest danger isn't that home exercise won't work. The bigger danger is starting so aggressively that you don't want to do it anymore. Fat loss is not a one-week challenge. It's a process. And the best workout is often not the hardest workout. It's the workout you can safely repeat. Problem 3. Losing weight while neglecting muscle. Here's another mistake that many people don't think about. They focus entirely on making the number on the scale smaller. But your goal shouldn't simply be to become lighter. You also want to remain strong and physically capable. As we age, maintaining muscle and strength becomes increasingly important for everyday activities. Getting out of a chair, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, walking, maintaining balance. These things require muscle. That's why our home program won't be based entirely on cardio. We're also going to use simple resistance exercises. And no, you don't need a gym machine. Your own body weight, a sturdy chair, and a wall can be enough to begin. Problem 4. Exercising for 20 minutes and sitting all day. Now here's something many people overlook. Let's say you exercise for 20 or 30 minutes in the morning. That's great. But what happens during the other 10 or 12 hours of your day? If you're sitting at a desk, sitting on the sofa, watching television, or barely moving around the house, your total daily activity may still be quite low. This is why we need to separate structured exercise from everyday movement. Your workout is one part of the picture. Your entire day is another. You can increase daily movement in very simple ways. Take a short walk around the house. Stand up regularly if you've been sitting for a long time. Walk while talking on the phone. Do some household activities. Take a short, comfortable walk after a meal when appropriate. These small movements may not feel impressive, but repeated every day, they can become part of a much more active lifestyle. Problem 5. Becoming obsessed with the scale. And finally, let's talk about something that causes many people to quit. The scale. You weigh yourself Monday morning, then Tuesday, then Wednesday, and suddenly, the number goes up by half a kilogram. You think, I'm doing everything right. Why am I gaining weight? Take a breath. Your body weight can change from day to day because of water, sodium, food still being digested, bowel movements, and other normal factors. A higher number tomorrow does not automatically mean you've gained body fat. That's why I don't want you judging your entire journey based on one morning's measurement. Instead, look at the bigger picture. Look at your weight trend over several weeks. Look at your waist measurement. Look at how your clothes fit. Look at whether you're becoming stronger. Look at whether you can walk longer without getting tired. Those changes matter too. So remember these 5 problems. Exercise alone isn't enough. Starting too hard can destroy consistency. Ignoring muscle can leave you weaker. Sitting all day can limit your overall activity. And obsessing over daily scale changes can make you quit unnecessarily. Now that we've removed these obstacles, it's time to build the solution. And the good news is this. You can start it right at home. Now let's get to the part you've been waiting for. The actual home workout, and I want you to forget something before we begin. You do not need to destroy yourself to lose fat. You don't need to jump until your knees hurt. You don't need expensive machines. And you don't need to spend hours exercising every day. Instead, we're going to build your routine around 4 simple ideas: low-impact cardio, strength training, daily movement, and recovery. Think of these 4 things as the foundation of your plan. Because the goal isn't to complete one incredibly difficult workout. The goal is to create a routine that you can still perform next month. And 3 months from now? And 6 months from now? That's where consistency becomes powerful. Before you start, make sure you have enough clear space around you. If you have significant health problems, balance difficulties, or you've been inactive for a long time, consider getting appropriate medical guidance before beginning a new exercise program. And remember, you should never force yourself through sharp pain. Let's begin. Exercise 1: March in place. Our first exercise is extremely simple. Marching in place. Stand tall with your feet about hip-width apart. Lift one foot slightly from the floor. Place it down. Then lift the other foot. Continue alternating. As you become comfortable, allow your arms to move naturally. Start slowly. You don't need to move quickly during your first few sessions. The purpose is simply to get your body moving and gradually raise your heart rate. One of the biggest advantages of this exercise is that you don't need any equipment. You don't need a treadmill. You don't need a bicycle. You can do it in your living room, and you can adjust the intensity to match your current fitness level. If your balance isn't very good, stay close to a sturdy chair or countertop. You can even keep the knee movement very small. Remember, this is not a competition. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're teaching your body to move again. Start with short intervals, maybe 30 seconds. Then rest. Repeat. As your fitness improves, gradually make those intervals longer. Exercise 2: Chair sit to stand. Next, we're going to train one of the most important movements for everyday life: the chair sit to stand. Find a sturdy chair that doesn't slide easily. Sit down with your feet positioned comfortably underneath you. Lean forward slightly, then stand up under control. Once you're standing, pause briefly, then slowly lower yourself back into the chair. That's 1 repetition. This simple movement trains your legs and glutes. But more importantly, it practices something you do every day: getting up from a chair, getting off the toilet, getting out of the car, standing up from the sofa. These are not just exercises, they are movements that help you stay independent. If you're a beginner and standing up is difficult, use your hands for assistance. That's completely fine. Over time, as you become stronger, try to use less assistance. And remember this rule: quality comes before quantity. 10 controlled repetitions are better than 20 rushed repetitions where you're losing your balance or using momentum. Exercise 3: Wall push-ups. Now let's move to the upper body. Wall push-ups. You don't need to get down on the floor. Stand facing a stable wall. Place your hands against it, around chest height. Then take a small step backward. Keep your body relatively straight. Bend your elbows and slowly bring your chest toward the wall. Then push yourself away. That's it. This movement works your chest, shoulders, and arms, while also requiring your body to stay stable. And here's another reason I like this exercise for beginners. You can make it easier or harder. If the wall feels challenging, stand closer. As you become stronger, you can step farther away or progress to a suitable countertop variation. But don't rush the progression. Your goal isn't to perform the most difficult version. Your goal is to gradually become stronger. Exercise 4: Side step touches. Now we're going to add some continuous movement. Stand upright. Take a comfortable step to the right. Bring your other foot toward it. Then step to the left. Bring the other foot toward it. Continue alternating from side to side. If you feel comfortable, add gentle arm movements. This exercise may look simple, and that's exactly the point. It's simple enough for many beginners to perform, but it keeps your body moving and adds a low-impact cardiovascular component to the workout. If your balance is uncertain, stay close to a sturdy support. You don't need to move quickly. Start with slow, controlled steps. Then gradually increase the pace as your confidence improves. Exercise 5: Supported standing leg raises. Next, we'll work on the muscles around your hips and legs. Stand behind a sturdy chair. Hold the chair for support. Keep your upper body relatively upright. Slowly move one leg backward. Bring it back to the starting position. Then repeat on the other side. You can also perform a controlled side leg raise if that feels comfortable for you. The important word here is controlled. Don't swing your leg. Don't use momentum. And don't try to lift it as high as possible. A smaller movement, performed with control, can be much more useful than a large, uncontrolled movement. This exercise can help strengthen muscles around the hips and legs, which are important for everyday movement. Exercise 6: Calf raises. Now let's work on the lower legs. Stand behind your sturdy chair. Keep your hands lightly on the chair for balance. Slowly rise onto the balls of your feet. Pose for a moment. Then lower your heels back toward the floor. Repeat. This strengthens the calf muscles and adds another simple resistance exercise to your home routine. If balance is difficult, keep both hands supported. There's no prize for doing it without assistance. Safety comes first. As you become stronger and more stable, you can gradually increase the number of controlled repetitions. Exercise 7. Faster low-impact march. Finally, we're going to bring the heart rate up a little. Return to marching in place. But this time, increase the pace. Move your arms naturally. Keep your feet relatively close to the floor. You don't need to jump. You don't need to perform high knees. You simply want to move faster than you did during your warm-up. Think of this as a challenging but manageable pace. You should feel that you're working harder, but you shouldn't feel completely out of control. And here's something very important. More intensity is not always better. If you need to slow down, slow down. If you need to rest, rest. And if you experience chest discomfort, severe shortness of breath, dizziness, or another concerning symptom, stop exercising and seek appropriate medical attention. There is no benefit in pushing through warning signs. Remember, this workout is designed to help you build consistency, not to prove how much discomfort you can tolerate. And you don't have to perform every exercise perfectly on your first day. Start with what you can safely manage. Then improve little by little. Because if you can turn these simple movements into a routine you actually enjoy and repeat, you've already accomplished something much more important than completing one exhausting workout. You've started building a lifestyle that can support your journey from 85 kilograms toward a healthier weight. Now you know the exercises. But here's where many people make another mistake. They learn a good workout, do it once, feel motivated, and then they have no idea what to do the rest of the week. So let's make this simple. You don't need to exercise hard every single day. You need a weekly structure that gives your body enough movement, enough training, and enough recovery. Beginner version 3 days per week. If you're starting from a low fitness level, begin with 3 workout days per week. For example, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Start each session with about 5 minutes of gentle movement. You can walk slowly around your home, march lightly in place, or move your arms and legs gently. The purpose is to prepare your body rather than immediately jumping into the hardest part. Then move through the exercises. Start with marching in place. Follow that with chair sit-to-stands. Then wall push-ups, side step touches, supported standing leg raises, and calf raises. You don't have to perform a huge number of repetitions. In the beginning, your goal is simply to learn the movements and finish the workout feeling like you could have done a little more. Afterward, spend a few minutes slowing down. Walk gently. Take some relaxed breaths. Allow your heart rate to come down gradually. That's your starting point. And if this feels easy after several weeks, don't completely change the program. Simply progress it. How to progress? Once your body becomes comfortable with the routine, you have several options. You can make the exercise sessions slightly longer. You can add another round of the exercises. You can gradually increase repetitions. Or you can increase your walking time. But here's an important rule. Don't increase everything at once. If you increase the duration, don't suddenly double the repetitions too. If you add another workout round, don't also dramatically increase the intensity. Give your body time to adapt. Small improvements repeated over time can take you much further than sudden bursts of motivation. A simple weekly schedule. Here's one practical example. Monday, home strength exercises plus light cardio. Tuesday, walking and general daily movement. Wednesday, home strength exercises plus light cardio. Thursday, easy movement or recovery. Friday, home strength exercises plus light cardio. Saturday, walking or active household activities. Sunday, recovery and gentle movement. And remember, this isn't a strict rule book. Your schedule can be adjusted around your health, work, family responsibilities, and energy levels. Some weeks will go perfectly. Other weeks won't. That's normal. What matters is that you return to the routine instead of abandoning it. And this brings us to one of the most important principles in the entire video. Consistency beats intensity. A moderate workout that you perform 3 times every week for 6 months is far more valuable than an extreme workout you perform twice before giving up. You don't need to feel exhausted after every session. You need to become the person who keeps showing up. One workout, then another, then another. That's how small actions eventually become visible changes. And now that we've built the exercise routine, there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to discuss. What you do in the kitchen can make this entire process much easier or much harder. Now, there's something important you need to understand. The exercises we've covered can help you become stronger, more active, and fitter. But if your goal is to lose a significant amount of body fat, exercise is only one part of the picture. What you do with your food, your daily movement, your sleep, and your recovery can make a major difference. So, let's go through 7 simple habits that can make your journey much easier. Tip 1. Build your meals around protein. Let's start with protein. Try to include a good source of protein in your meals. This could be eggs, fish, chicken, Greek yogurt, beans, tofu, or another protein-rich food that fits your preferences. Why does this matter? Because when you're losing weight, you don't want the goal to be simply losing as much weight as possible. You also want to support your muscles. Adequate protein, combined with resistance exercise, can help support muscle maintenance while you're losing weight. And there's another practical benefit. Protein can help make meals more satisfying, which may make it easier to stay within your overall calorie needs. You don't need complicated protein powders or expensive products. Start with ordinary foods you already enjoy. Tip 2. Watch your liquid calories. Here's a surprisingly easy place to reduce calories. Your drinks. Think about sugary soda, sweetened coffee, energy drinks, large servings of fruit juice. These drinks can add calories without making you feel as full as a solid meal. And because they're easy to consume quickly, it's possible to take in a lot without really noticing. Try making water your main drink. You can also choose unsweetened tea or other low-calorie beverages. You don't have to change everything overnight. If you drink several sugary beverages every day, start by replacing one, then another. Small changes that you can maintain are often more useful than extreme rules you abandon after a week. Tip 3. Increase high-fiber foods. Next, pay attention to fiber. Vegetables, beans, fruit, and whole grains when they fit your individual eating pattern. Fiber-rich foods can contribute to fullness and can make a calorie-controlled diet easier to maintain. Think about the difference between a meal that leaves you hungry again an hour later and a meal that keeps you satisfied for several hours. The second option makes staying consistent much easier. So instead of asking only, "What food should I remove?" also ask, "What nutritious food can I add to make this meal more filling?" That small change in thinking can make healthy eating feel much less restrictive. Tip 4. Don't starve yourself. This one is extremely important. If you're trying to lose weight, you may be tempted to eat as little as possible, but extreme dieting can be difficult to maintain. You might feel hungry all the time. Your energy may drop, and eventually, you may find yourself overeating because the diet became impossible to follow. Remember, the goal is not to punish yourself. The goal is to create a manageable calorie deficit that you can maintain over time. You don't need to survive on tiny meals. You don't need to feel miserable every day. And you don't need to be perfect. You're not trying to punish your body. You're trying to build a healthier routine for it. That's a completely different mindset. Tip 5. Walk more throughout the day. Now let's return to something simple. Walking. You don't need to wait for your official workout. Look for opportunities to move throughout the day. Walk around your home. Stand up and move after sitting for a while. Walk while talking on the phone. Do household activities. And if it's comfortable and appropriate for you, take a short walk after a meal. You don't need to start with an hour. Start with what you can manage. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Then gradually increase your total daily movement. The goal is to make activity part of your normal life, instead of treating exercise as something that only happens during a formal workout. Tip 6. Protect your sleep. Now let's talk about something that is often ignored during fat loss. Sleep. When you're tired, making good food choices can become harder. You may feel more hungry. You may have less energy for exercise. And you may simply have less motivation to stay consistent. So protect your sleep as much as possible. Try to maintain a reasonably consistent bedtime. Reduce unnecessary screen time late at night. Keep your bedroom comfortable and suitable for sleep, and give yourself enough opportunity to sleep. You don't need a perfect bedtime routine. You just need to stop treating sleep like something that can always be sacrificed. Your recovery matters. Tip 7: Track progress intelligently. And finally, let's change the way you measure success. Don't step on the scale every few hours looking for proof that the plan is working. Instead, look at trends. Track your weekly weight trend. Measure your waist occasionally. Record how many repetitions you can perform. Track how long you can comfortably walk. Pay attention to your energy. And notice how your clothes fit. Because here's something important. Your weight may stay almost unchanged for several days. That doesn't automatically mean you've failed. Water levels can change. Food can still be in your digestive system. Your sodium intake can change. There are many reasons the scale moves up and down. But imagine that after several weeks, your waist is smaller, your clothes fit better, and you can perform more sit-to-stands than you could before. Those are meaningful improvements. So don't let one disappointing number convince you that nothing is happening. Look at the trend. Look at your strength. Look at your habits. And look at the person you're becoming. Because fat loss isn't just about reaching a number on a scale. It's about building a body that is stronger, more capable, and easier to take care of. And when you combine these habits with the home workout we've discussed, you have something much more powerful than a temporary diet or exercise challenge. You have a system you can actually live with. Before we finish, there are a few mistakes I want you to avoid, because sometimes it's not one huge mistake that stops fat loss. It's the small habits that slowly make you lose consistency. Mistake 1: Trying to exercise at maximum intensity. Many people believe that if a workout hurts more, it must be working better. But that's not how fat loss works. More pain does not automatically mean more fat loss. And if an extremely difficult workout leaves you too sore to exercise for the next several days, it may actually make consistency harder. Your body needs recovery. Especially as you get older, recovery becomes an important part of your training. You don't need to finish every workout completely exhausted. You need to finish it knowing you can come back and do it again. Mistake 2: Doing only cardio. Walking and other forms of cardio are excellent, but don't make cardio your entire program. Your body also needs resistance exercise. Chair sit-to-stands, wall push-ups, calf raises, supported leg exercises. These simple movements can help you work your muscles without needing a gym. Remember, the goal isn't simply to become lighter. It's also to stay strong and physically capable while you lose weight. Mistake 3: Completely eliminating entire food groups without a reason. When people want fast results, they often create very strict food rules. No carbohydrates, no fruit, no dinner, no food after a certain hour. But extreme rules aren't automatically better. And if a diet becomes so restrictive that you can't follow it for more than a few days, it isn't a sustainable strategy. Instead, focus on your overall calorie intake, food quality, protein, fiber, and portion sizes. Build a way of eating that you can realistically continue. Mistake 4: Comparing yourself to younger people. This is especially important if you're over 45 or 50. A 60-year-old does not need to train like a 25-year-old. Your body has a different history. Your joints, muscles, balance, recovery, and fitness level may be completely different. So don't compare your workout to someone half your age on social media. Compare yourself with your previous self. Can you walk a little farther? Can you perform another sit-to-stand? Can you move with better balance? Can you recover more comfortably? That's the comparison that matters. Mistake 5: Giving up after one bad day. And finally, don't let one bad day become a bad month. Maybe you ate at a restaurant. Maybe you had dessert. Maybe you missed your workout. Maybe you spent the entire day sitting on the sofa. It happens. One meal doesn't destroy your progress. One missed workout doesn't erase the work you've already done. The real problem is when you decide, I've already messed up, so I might as well quit. Don't do that. If today wasn't your best day, tomorrow is another opportunity. Just return to your routine. No punishment. No starving yourself. No trying to burn off yesterday's food with an extreme workout. Simply return to the plan. And I want you to remember this. Think in months, not days. Your body didn't change overnight, and it won't transform overnight. But if you keep showing up, keep making better choices, and keep improving little by little, those small actions can eventually create a very different result. So if today wasn't perfect, that's okay. Come back tomorrow and continue. That's how transformation happens. So let's bring everything together. If you're starting around 85 kilograms and your goal is to eventually reach 65 kilograms, remember that you don't need to change everything overnight. You need a system you can actually maintain. The first pillar is low-impact cardio. Marching, walking, side steps, simple movements that get your body active without requiring a gym. The second pillar is strength training. Chair sit-to-stands, wall push-ups, calf raises, supported leg exercises. These movements help you work on strength while you're losing weight. The third pillar is daily movement. Don't think of exercise as something that only happens for 20 or 30 minutes. Look for opportunities to move throughout your day. Walk more, stand up regularly, move around your home, take short walks when appropriate. The fourth pillar is sustainable eating habits. Prioritize protein. Choose more fiber-rich foods. Be mindful of liquid calories. And create a manageable calorie deficit instead of starving yourself. And the fifth pillar is sleep and recovery. Your body needs time to recover. Your goal isn't to become exhausted every day. Your goal is to become healthier and more capable over time. Now, let's go back to that person we talked about at the beginning. Imagine you're starting at 85 kilograms. You don't need to wake up tomorrow and somehow become 65 kilograms. Your first milestone might be 83, then perhaps 80, then 77, and you continue from there. Every milestone represents progress. And here's the mindset I want you to take away from this entire video. Don't focus on losing 20 kilograms tomorrow. Focus on making today's healthy choice repeatable. Because when you repeat small actions for long enough, they stop feeling like a temporary challenge. They become your lifestyle. And one important reminder before you begin. If you have significant health conditions, major mobility limitations, or you experience concerning symptoms during exercise, speak with an appropriate healthcare professional before starting a new exercise program. And remember, 65 kilograms is not automatically the right weight for everyone. A healthy target depends on factors such as your height, body composition, age, health, and individual circumstances. So don't chase a number simply because someone else told you it's ideal. Choose a goal that makes sense for your body and your health. Final citetea. And now I want to hear from you. What is your current weight? And what healthy weight are you working toward? Leave your answer in the comments. You might be surprised how many other people watching this video are working toward a similar goal. And if this workout is something you want to follow, save this video so you can come back to it during your next home workout. If you found this information useful, subscribe to the channel for more practical videos about healthy aging, fat loss, strength, mobility, and staying active at home. And don't disappear after watching this video. Come back and tell us how you're doing. Maybe your next comment will say, I started at 85, and now I'm 82. That would be progress. Then maybe 80. Then another milestone. This isn't about a quick transformation. It's about building a healthier version of yourself, one decision at a time. So remember, you don't need a perfect body. You don't need a perfect diet. And you don't need a gym membership to begin. You need one small action today and the discipline to repeat it tomorrow. Start where you are. Use what you have. And keep going.